Hello everyone. Donald John Trump is an American politician, media personality, and businessman who served as the 45th President of the United States from 2017 to 2021. Join us to explore the beautiful quotes of Donald John Trump. It will help you overcome obstacles in life. Let's get it on. Get going. Move forward. Aim high. Plan a takeoff. Don't just sit on the runway and hope someone will come along and push the airplane. It simply won't happen. Change your attitude and gain some altitude. Believe me, you'll love it up here. As long as you are going to be thinking anyway, think big. Show me someone without an ego, and I'll show you a loser. When you are wronged repeatedly, the worst thing you can do is continue taking it fight back. What separates the winners from the losers is how a person reacts to each new twist of fate. It doesn't hurt to get more education. Sometimes your best investments are the ones you don't make. What's the point of having great knowledge and keeping them all to yourself? I try to learn from the past, but I plan for the future by focusing exclusively on the present. That's where the fun is. Anyone who thinks my story is anywhere near over is sadly mistaken. I've read hundreds of books about China over the decades. I know the Chinese. I've made a lot of money with the Chinese. I understand the Chinese mind. I know words. I have the best words. Don't get sidetracked. If you do get sidetracked, get back on track as soon as possible. Ultimately, sidetracking kills you. I've always felt that a lot of modern art is a con, and that the most successful painters are often better salesmen and promoters than they are artists. I discovered, for the first time but not the last, that politicians don't care too much what things cost. It's not their money. And if it can't be fun, what's the point? Good publicity is preferable to bad, but from a bottom-line perspective, bad publicity is sometimes better than no publicity at all. Controversy, in short, sells. Watch, listen, and learn. You can't know it all yourself. Anyone who thinks they do is destined for mediocrity. There's an old German proverb to the effect that fear makes the wolf bigger than he is, and that is true. My people keep telling me I shouldn't write letters like this to critics. The way I see it, critics get to say what they want to about my work, so why shouldn't I be able to say what I want to about theirs? Success comes from failure, not from memorizing the right answers. I don't hire a lot of number crunchers, and I don't trust fancy marketing surveys. I do my own surveys and draw my own conclusions. I like to think of the word focus as follow one course until successful. Courage is not the absence of fear. Courage is the ability to act effectively in spite of fear. Our country, our people, and our laws have to be our top priority. The point is that if you are a little different, or a little outrageous, or if you do things that are bold or controversial, the press is going to write about you. Hurricane will be tremendously big and tremendously wet. I like thinking big. I always have. To me, it's very simple. If you're going to be thinking anyway, you might as well think big. Most people think small because most people are afraid of success, afraid of making decisions, afraid of winning. And that gives people like me a great advantage. Money was never a big motivation for me, except as a way to keep score. The real excitement is playing the game. A government big enough to give you everything you want is a government big enough to take from you everything you have. One President Gerald Ford. The worst things in history have happened when people stop thinking for themselves and listen to other people, and even worse, start following other people. That's what gives rise to dictators. Because much more often than you'd think, sheer persistence is the difference between success and failure. The most important thing in life is to love what you're doing, because that's the only way you'll ever be really good at it. Most people think small, because they are afraid of success, afraid of making decisions, afraid of winning. Rules are meant to be broken. Partnerships must have loyalty and integrity at their core. Contrary to what a lot of people think, I don't enjoy doing press. I've been asked the same questions a million times now, and I don't particularly like talking about my personal life. Living your words, walking your talk, and talking your walk. As an entrepreneur, I choose my teachers carefully, very carefully. I am extremely cautious of the people with whom I spend my time and to whom I listen. Think big. You are going to be thinking anyway, so think big. Criticism is easier to take when you realize that the only people who aren't criticized are those who don't take risks. A brand is 2 words: the promise you telegraph and the experience you deliver. Had some beautiful pictures taken in which I had a big smile on my face. I looked happy. I looked content. I looked content. I looked like a very nice person, which in theory I am. Entrepreneurs are always taking feedback, especially from their customers, bankers, workers, and sales force. Without straightforward feedback, entrepreneurs cannot make sound decisions. The worst of times often create the best opportunities to make good deals. When I look at myself in the first grade and I look at myself now, I'm basically the same. The temperament is not that different. All of the women on The Apprentice flirted with me consciously or unconsciously. That's good to be expected. You do your job, you keep your job. Do it well. You get a better job. Every time I speak of the haters and losers, I do so with great love and affection. They cannot help the fact that they were born fucked up. It is easier to ask for money when you don't need the money. I've never been terribly interested in why people give, because their motivation is rarely what it seems to be, and it's almost never true altruism. The biggest little thing for entrepreneurs is the lifelong commitment to education. The more predictable the business, the more valuable it is. Following your convictions means you must be willing to face criticism from those who lack the same courage to do what is right. It's called the road less traveled. Be open to new information and ideas. Always think positively and expect the best. Stay confident even when something bad happens. It is just a bump in the road. It will pass. Well, I love to read. Actually, I'm looking at a book, I'm reading a book, I'm trying to get started. The more people tell you it's not possible, that it can't be done, the more you should be absolutely determined to prove them wrong. Treat the word impossible as nothing more than motivation. Make every day extraordinary no matter what your job is. Even as entrepreneurs, we rely on people to get things done. We may have the original idea, but moving it forward can involve hundreds of people. Every person becomes integral to the overall success. The best thing I know about me is that I'm rich. The future does not belong to those who believe in socialism. The future belongs to those who believe in freedom. That if you try once, you should try again. Keep that focus exactly where it should be, on winning. You don't reward failure by promoting those responsible for it, because all you get is more failure. You know what uranium is, right? This thing called nuclear weapons. Like lots of things are done with uranium, including some bad things. Just remember, what you're seeing and what you're reading is not what's happening. If you have laws that you don't enforce, then you don't have laws. This leads to lawlessness. Socialism is not about the environment. It's not about justice. It's not about virtue. Socialism is about only one thing. It's called power for the ruling class. That's what it is. You must work on improving your skills every day and never quit. We are going to build a wall. You're going to pay for the wall. The future belongs to the dreamers, not to the critics. The future belongs to the people who follow their heart, no matter what the critics say, because they truly believe in their vision. But I'm a businessman, and I learned a lesson from that experience. Good publicity is preferable to bad. But from a bottom-line perspective, bad publicity is sometimes better than no publicity at all. Controversy, in short, sells. Thank you for watching the entire video. Please comment to let us know. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you don't miss our latest videos. See you soon.